to my channel Megamind. I am Pratik Saha. Today's topic is diesel cycle efficiency. Before find out the diesel cycle efficiency, we have to know how it works. So I am explaining the theoretical process how diesel cycle works. So diesel cycle starts from sucking the ambient air. So piston moves initially from TDC to BDC and inlet port gets open so that the cylinder can suck the ambient air. Okay, so the representation of this stroke will be in PV diagram a straight line 1 to 2. Okay, now 2 to 3, that is compression stroke. During the compression stroke, the piston moves from BDC to TDC. So what kind of compression it is? It is adiabatic, reversible adiabatic, or we can say isentropic compression. So this is the adiabatic compression 2 to 3. Okay, my dear friend. So this one is 2 to 3, and due to this compression, what happened here? The temperature of the air increased. So at that compressed air, we inject the fuel. So the fuel burn at defined point of the from defined point. Why? Where the fuel gets the sufficient ignition temperature, it starts to burn from that point, and due to this combustion, a pressure wave act on the top of the piston, which again move the piston from TDC to BDC. So here, my dear friends, we inject the fuel in that position. That means what? At constant pressure. So 2 to 3 and 3 to 4, this picture is representing 2 to 3 and 3 to 4 also. After compression, we inject the fuel at constant pressure. So at constant pressure, so this is the constant pressure heat addition. Then due to this combustion pressure, or due to pressure wave, the piston moves from TDC to BDC. So this is expansion stroke. So during expansion, what kind of expansion it is? It is reversible adiabatic expansion, or we can say the isentropic expansion. Okay, so after expansion, what happened? Exhaust port open, and due to this pressure drop, when exhaust port open, pressure will drop inside the cylinder, and due to this, the burned gases will be exhaust out to the exhaust port, and piston will move towards upward direction. That means what? From BDC to TDC. So exhaust happen at constant volume. So constant volume means what? This is the constant volume. So 3 to 4. This one is 4 to 5 to. This one is 4 to 5 expansion. This one is 5 to 2. That means constant volume. Okay. So here 1 to 2 is a point I'm taking from this one. Okay. So 2 to 3 is isentropic compression. So the line will be vertical, isentropic, because here entropy is not changing. So 1 to 2, and 3 to 4 is what? Constant pressure heat addition. So constant pressure heat addition. Now 4 to 5 is again isentropic expansion. So this one is isentropic, 4 to 5. Okay, sorry, I'm just changing the representation, because here I'm starting from 2 to 3. 2 to 3 isentropic one, 3 to 4 constant pressure. So 3 to 4 is okay, 4 to 5 is again isentropic. Okay, 5 to 2 is constant volume. So this one 5 to 2. Okay, so this is the representation of diesel cycle in PV diagram and TS diagram. Now I am coming to the point efficiency of diesel cycle. Okay, so we consider one thing. The cylinder is initially full of air, so the process will be started from adiabatic compression. Okay, so here I'm starting it from adiabatic compression, then 2 to 3 constant pressure heat addition, 3 to 4 adiabatic expansion, or we can say isentropic expansion, 4 to 1 constant volume heat rejection. Okay, so my dear friends, here we are supplying heat at constant pressure, but in Otto cycle, what is the difference between Otto cycle and diesel cycle? In Otto cycle, heat is supplied at constant volume, but here it is supplying here at constant pressure. That's why it is also known as constant pressure heat addition cycle. Okay, but heat is rejecting in both case uh, at constant volume. Okay, so my dear friends, from this graph you can say 1 to 2 is what? Compression. So V1 by V2 is the compression ratio, and 3 to 4 is the expansion stroke. So V4 by V3 is expansion ratio, and 2 to 3 is what? Constant pressure process. At that process we supply we inject the fuel. So V3 by V2 is called cutoff, because here pressure is constant. So V3 by V2 is called cutoff ratio. So we can represent it in that way also. The compression stroke equal to the product of expansion ratio and compression ratio is equal to product of expansion ratio and cutoff ratio. Okay, now we know what is efficiency, my dear friend. Efficiency means what? Work done by heat supplied. Okay, so here work done is what? Heat supplied minus heat rejected divided by heat supplied. Okay, here we are supplying, suppose Q1 amount of heat. This one is Q1, this one is Q2, suppose. So from this one we can write it in that way also, Q2 by Q1. Now we have to find out, we have to formulate Q2 and Q1. So how we will formulate it? My dear friends, I'm starting from Q1. Okay, so just see here, we are supplying heat at constant pressure, so the formula will be mCp T high minus T low. So T high means what? T3 minus T2. T3 here temperature is at state 3, temperature is more than state 2, or 3 is the maximum state of temperature. Okay, so we can represent it mCp T3 minus T2, because we are supplying heat at in process 2 to 3. Okay, and at constant pressure. That's why the formula will be mCp T3 minus T2. Now heat rejection, heat is rejecting by the system at constant volume and in process 4:1. Okay, so the formula will be mCp T high means the T high T4 minus T1. Okay, if we put the value of Q2 and Q1 in this equation, then we'll get CV, CP, MM will be cancelled out each other, and it will come in that way, T4 minus T1 divided by T3 minus T2. My dear friends, we know Cp by Cv is gamma, so Cv by Cp will be what? 1 by gamma. So 1 by gamma T4 minus T1 divided by T2. Okay, now my dear friend, I will represent T4, T4, T1 and T2 in terms of T3, T4, T2 and T1 in terms of T3. Okay, just see. In process 2-3, in process 2-3, what is 2-3 process? Constant pressure process. So we can write it in that way: T2 by T3 equal to V2 by V3, and we know V3 by V2 is what? Cutoff ratio. So V2 by V3 will be reciprocal of cutoff ratio. So here T2 will be T2 equal to T3 into this. Okay, so I have represented here T2 in terms of T3. Now I am coming to the process 3-4. In 3-4, 3-4 means what? Isentropic expansion. So we can write it in that way also. Okay, so my dear friends, here V4 by V3 is what? V4 by V3 is expansion ratio. Okay, so V3 by V4 will be what? Reciprocal of expansion ratio. So it will be look like that. And we also know the compression ratio is the product of expansion ratio and the compression and the cutoff ratio. So from that we can write that the expansion ratio is equal to compression ratio divided by cutoff ratio. Is that it? So just put the value of expansion ratio in terms of compression ratio and cutoff ratio, then we'll get this one. So from that we can find out the value of T4 in terms of T3. Okay, now I am coming to process 1-2. So what is the process 1-2? Just see here. 1-2 is adiabatic compression. So adiabatic compression, so in adiabatic compression we can write in that way, and we know V1 by V2 is compression ratio, but here it is V2 by V1, so it will be reciprocal of compression ratio, and ultimately T1 will be what? T1 equal to T2 into this. But here I am representing T1 in terms of T3, so just put the value of T2 from this formula. Just put the value of T2, T3 by 1 by RC. So here I am already put it the value of T2, so it is coming in that way. So my dear friends, I have already expressed T4, T2 and T1 in terms of T3. Now after putting all the value in this equation, it is coming in that way, and after cancelling all the things, the final diesel efficiency is coming this one. Okay, so this is the expression of the diesel efficiency.